The practice today is about addiction and compulsion. So before we start, just brings to mind something that you might like to work with. It could be a substance, like food or alcohol or anything. Or it could be a process, like working too much or shopping or gambling or thinking. Thinking is a big one for most of us. Just set that in the back of your mind as something that you're going to work with during this practice. It'll be a fairly short guided practice of inquiry around addiction. And as we start all of our practices, start by tuning in. Notice what's going on in your environment immediately around you and in your own body right now in this moment. So if you have your eyes open, you could be looking around the room. If you have them closed, you know what's in your room anyway, if it's a familiar environment. And we can sense the furniture and the floor and the air. Our bodies are well suited to knowing what's going on around us. And notice that that's happening in this moment in time. Yesterday, you might have been in the same environment, but the conditions would have been at least slightly different. Or maybe you were in a different room or at work or outside or something was changed. One of the things we can notice about our environment is that it's never quite the same and that we always have a response to our environment. And this is important as we're talking about addiction, because some environments feel like it's the right place to do whatever it is that we're doing. So if we're, for instance, going to a restaurant and we're going to have a glass of wine and enjoy a meal and enjoy the company of people around us, we can have many, many associations with happiness and good times and company and enjoying that, relaxing. Or if we walk into a casino, we would have those associations. Whether or not we have an addiction or a problem with gambling, we would generally speak to have associations that are either in person, if we've ever been in a casino, or they might be from movies or pictures we've seen or something. So it's important to see that our environment holds cues for us. And some of those cues tend to be what drive addiction, what make it seem so attractive. And then when we turn our attention inward, we can do a short relaxation. We can bring our attention into the whole body from head to toes. And as we exhale, allow everything to soften and relax from the forehead and the eyebrows, through the jaw, the teeth, the mouth, the throat, back of the neck and the shoulders, down through the arms, down through the back. And each time you exhale, there's this natural process of relaxing that happens in the body. So you could just keep your attention kind of stationary when you inhale, and then relax a little bit more on the exhale. Notice the muscles of your chest, the stomach, through your hips and legs down to your feet. And notice any energy or sensation in your body, more of the interior looking. We have our external environment and our internal environment. And notice that the internal environment and the external environment are both in the present tense. They're both happening right now. And that the internal environment in particular is very much affected by other times. So So in our internal world, we have thoughts about the past and thoughts about the future. And then we also have this mindfulness around what's going on in the environment at this moment in time. So as you tune into the internal environment, notice your body, notice your breath. There's that flow of breath through the nose, the movement of your body with your breath. So we could notice muscles and breath and energy. With addiction in particular, there's often energy. Sometimes it could be in the throat. There might be a signaling of some kind that this energy in the throat would be soothed by some cool sweet ice cream or a drink of something. There could be some other kind of energy that feels not welcome or uncomfortable. And from long experience, we've associated the relief of that with whatever it is that we're addicted to. So recognizing the way that this system works can be helpful, because then we can break it down and look at the parts kind of in slow motion. Our experience leads to associations. We remember our experience. We remember dangerous or frightening experiences, and we also remember what gives us relief from those feelings. Lots of time there's shame and judgment from others, but mostly from ourselves as well, around what we've chosen as a way to relieve that pressure or that tension or that terror. And really all of our systems are set up to do just that. We can't really work against nature. We can understand it and work with it. We don't have to go along with it like it's our boss or something. But we can't really fight it either. It's more helpful to learn about it and understand. So taking a few deep breaths again and noticing your body from head to toes. Try to keep some of your awareness grounded in your physical body and in the energy in your body. And then bring to mind whatever it is that you're working with. Sometimes there's a ghost image, just an image that kind of flashes through the mind quite quickly. If we're not looking for it, we might not even notice it's there. It's often accompanied by a feeling in the body of some kind of relief or relaxation, feeling of safety. So notice what your experience is as you bring to mind whatever addictive process or substance you're working with. And whether it came in as a ghost image or not, bring up some images or one in particular of whatever it is that you're working with. And notice that if it's a substance, the substance might come up. If it's something you do in a certain environment, then the picture of you in the environment might come up. Our experience will all be a bit different as to what comes up. Just notice if you can bring up some kind of a visual image or picture. It could be a video clip or a still image. And then have a look at that image and see if there's something in the image that's compelling you towards doing that. Notice what's going on in your body as you're looking at the image. And notice what kind of thoughts are coming in as well. Notice there might be words or sentences or some kind of verbal component to this. Even if it's the word food or alcohol, wine, or whatever it is that you're working with, thinking, thought. Look first now at the word. We've looked at the image, seeing if there's any associated words. So look now at the word or words. If it feels like the image is really connected and it could be like a description that's pasted over top of the image, you could look at them both together. Otherwise, just look at the words and hear the sounds. And notice if there's anything in the words that is compelling you to act. With words, sometimes it's the sound of them. And if that's the case, notice if there's something in particular about the sound. Is it the depth of it? Is it in someone's voice? Is it something about that sound? What is it that feels compelling? And notice as you're looking at that or hearing that, what's going on in your body? What's your energetic response to it? And many of us look at words like they're typewritten, or they're written on a page, or they're up on a billboard. So if you see a visual representation of the words, look at that and notice the qualities and the attributes of those words. Are they big and black? Are they red and shiny? Are they compelling in some way? Is there something about those words as you're looking at them that could make you act? And there's no right or wrong answers here. If it feels like there's some kind of response in your body, then it's a yes. And then look in particular then, what is it about the words? If those words were to change and come rainbow-colored dancing figures, would they still be so compelling? If the typeface was to become less bold or black, maybe it would become lighter, more elegant or something, would they still be compelling? Really have a good look and see what it is about that that might be creating a feeling of, I need to do this. Notice what's going on in your body. And if you're not working with the picture, you could bring the picture image back up as well. Sometimes it seems like the words have more power, sometimes it's the image. And notice that images are made of colors and shapes, light and dark. And then our brains make sense of them. If you're looking at an image of someone sitting in the restaurant, or of you sitting in a restaurant having a glass of wine, talking to the people around you, you might notice that there's a relaxation in your body. Or maybe your response to it is repulsed or some kind of shame. There's no right or wrong way to have a response. We just have whatever response we have. And then we can notice it. Notice what's going on energetically as we're looking. And look to see if there's something in that image that can make you act, that can make you do a process, do it at substance, ingest something, move your arms and pick up a glass. Is there anything in that image that could compel you to do that? And there's no right or wrong answers. There's just this looking. Notice your energetic response, if there's any sensations or feelings coming up in your body. There could be other words or pictures as well that we could look at. And then let the words and images move off to the side for a minute and focus in your body. What's going on in your body right now? And notice the type of sensations that are there. There might be something obvious, or you might have to take a little bit of a slow journey through your body and just notice what's going on. Is there any kind of protective energy through the back of the neck and the shoulders, the upper back? Are your teeth clenched? There might be a pulsing or throbbing in your throat. Often we have energy in the heart center. And then bring your attention into your stomach area as well. Notice what's going on in your gut, your navel center, the lower belly, the solar plexus. And whatever it is that you see or notice in that looking in your body, let your attention rest there. Notice if the energy is cold or hot, if it's pulsing or still or thick or heavy. Notice if you have an image of it. If you do, you could have a look at the image to see if the image of that sensation is what's compelling you to act. And then drop the words and pictures and rest with the energy itself. Notice there's space all around energy. The energy doesn't go off into infinity. It's located in or close around our body. It's something that we can observe. We can notice the edges and boundaries of it. We can notice what it feels like. We could describe it. And notice if this energy is compelling you to do something. The energy that drives addiction is often long-standing and very familiar to us, in the sense that we know this isn't something new. This has been here for a long, long time. And notice if the energy itself seems to be compelling you to act in some way. Continue to remain anchored in your body and your breath, noticing the energy. And if it feels like there's some kind of compelling force in that energy, how is it that you know that? Is there an image or words that are coming up, even if they're just flashing in? Is there a discomfort not wanting to be present with this? Knowing through long association that you don't have to be present with it, you could take something or do something and it would relieve this. We wouldn't have to pay attention. And whatever it is you've noticed in this short inquiry, know that you can come back to it anytime you want. You can play the recording again. You could tune into it just on your own. Noticing when you feel a compulsion to do something, what are the parts? What are the words? What are the pictures? What's the energy or sensation? And what happens when you sit with those, one and then the other and the other, and really inquire into what is it that drives this compulsion, this addiction. And as we do that, it becomes less of a mystery. We become more known to ourselves, more able to stay with ourselves. And that helps to unwind the whole energy behind addiction and compulsion. And take a few deep breaths. Notice your body again, head to toes. And set your intention to come back to this way of looking and paying attention whenever the urge to do this activity or to ingest something comes up during the day for you. When you're ready, open your eyes.